The man spent his entire fortune to buy a prison and quickly launched a renovation plan, all because a zombie apocalypse would sweep through the city in just a few days. His wife, acting in the name of an architecture firm, ordered 10,000 tons of construction materials. She also found a reliable construction crew and offered them double the usual pay. All doors and windows were reinforced with 12 centimeters of special steel and camouflaged on the outside so that no entrances could be seen. The man focused on stockpiling supplies. Using his position as head of the anesthesiology department, he requisitioned large quantities of antibiotics and other common medications from the hospital pharmacy. He then used the last of his savings to buy medical equipment. For food, he went to wholesale markets and bought enough compressed biscuits, canned goods, and dehydrated vegetables to last 2 people for 5 years, all delivered by truck to the prison's underground warehouse. In 3 days, 90% of the supply stockpiling was done. On the 4th day, the prison renovation was 70% complete. The original walls had been raised and reinforced, with razor wire and high-voltage electric fencing on top, though the power hadn't been connected yet. His wife stood on the watchtower and observed that the open area to the south was weak defensively. She suggested digging a 10-meter deep trench and filling it with spikes. The man fully agreed and immediately contacted the construction crew. For energy, his wife had planned ahead. She applied for 100 solar panels under the guise of a company project and used personal connections to get 5 diesel generators. Even if the power grid failed, they could still keep the core area running. For water, a rainwater collection system was under construction. A reservoir had been dug beneath the prison, and 5 large water purification systems were purchased to ensure the water was safe. The living quarters consisted of 2 rooms with private bathrooms, equipped with insulation and temperature control. The medical area was built to operating room standards, with all basic medical equipment in place. By the 6th day, 95% of the prison renovation was complete. The underground warehouse was divided into supply, weapon, and energy sections. All the supplies had arrived. After finishing everything, the two stood in the empty prison, looking at the sturdy walls and abundant supplies, wondering whether the zombie crisis they had anticipated would actually come. The man was the head of an anesthesiology department at a hospital. 1 week before the zombie outbreak, he admitted a strange patient. Although the patient's family insisted he had been bitten by a stray dog and infected with rabies, the man knew from over a decade of clinical experience that this was no ordinary illness. Rabies patients don't have cloudy eyes, nor do they remain agitated after 3 doses of sedatives. He remembered news reports circulating online about zombies appearing, which had later been officially debunked. But looking at this strange patient, the man became certain that a terrifying plague was about to break out. So he immediately called his wife, who worked for a construction company. After briefly explaining the situation, he told her to sell their house right away and withdraw all their savings. His wife paused for a few seconds, then agreed. After hanging up, the man forced down his panic, arranged for a nurse to look after the patient, and started frantically searching his phone for a place suitable to build a doomsday shelter. Under these circumstances, even a luxury villa held no interest for him. Just as he was growing anxious, an auction ad popped up. It was for an abandoned prison that had once housed death row inmates, with an extremely high security level. Bidding would start at 5 p.m. that day. The man suddenly realized this was exactly what he needed. He immediately called the seller. By then, his wife had already sold the house quickly at 30% below market value. The man borrowed furiously on lending platforms. In the end,